Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic episode of UnderRadar. Today we're gonna run and gun with the best of them in Rapid Reload. Rapid Reload is a run and gun arcade shooter developed by MediaVision and published by Sony for the PlayStation in Japan and Europe in 1995, and later on re-released on the PlayStation Network in Japan in 2007 and Asia in 2010. This was a game that was suggested to me by Mark Lamont, and playing it I honestly feel this was Sony's response to another fantastic run and gun game known as Gunstar Heroes for the Sega Genesis. Gunstar Heroes is another game I feel is underrated, so I might just dive into that game into the future as well. But for now, let's jump back into Rapid Reload and see what the story holds for this title that never hit the States. The story surrounds treasure hunters Axel Sonics and Ruka Hetfield as they embark on an adventure to obtain a legendary treasure known as the Valkyrie, which contains unknown power. With stones of power, there will always be those who choose to abuse this power for their own gain, which is where the group known as Pumpkinheads come into play, determined to use that power to rule the world. Rapid Reload will run you about 2 hours at most, but honestly I wasn't expecting much due to these games being practically made for arcade machines. Their story is so short that you may not care for it, but the gameplay is fun enough to keep you entertained for the bit of time you play it for. While this game is a product of the 90s PlayStation era, the graphics for this game could still hold up in today's era of gaming where pixel art is a high demand when it comes to indie games. I love the art style of Rapid Reload has, and the designs for the characters, enemies, bosses, and the lands you traverse. They could have given a few things more flair like the title screen, but it's excusable since these types of arcade shooters are all about the gameplay for the most part. The music for Rapid Reload is action all day, with music that really keeps you on your toes while you decimate your foes. There's not that much variety though, since it's all mostly rock type music, but one track that stands out in my mind is Stage 5's music, which really gives you that 90s anime cop feel. I also like the boss battle music, though it can get easily repetitive since it's used for almost every single boss fight you fight in this game. There's no voice acting in this game clearly, save for a few grunts and the like, since you'll mostly get your story through text dialogue, but for an arcade shooter like this, it's really not an issue at all. Now let's finally talk about what these run and gun games are all about, and that's the gameplay. In Rapid Reload, you get a choice of two characters, the male character Axel Sonics and the female character Ruka Hetfield, to adventure through 6 action-packed levels. These characters differ more than just their gender, as they both carry different forms of the same weapons, those weapons being their default machine pistol, a homing laser, a multi-directional cannon, and a flamethrower. You also have a limited supply of bombs, which do what bombs usually do in arcade shooters and clear the screen of enemies, or noticeable damages to bosses as well. With your weapons in hand, you'll want to dish out the most damage possible, and for that you need some power gems. As you defeat enemies, you'll find some loot in the form of crystals that give your weapons a boost in power. This power is limited however, so be sure to keep an eye on your power countdown meter above. Once that meter goes to 0, your weapons revert to their weaker forms. If you're lucky enough to find a boost gem, snatch it up as quick as you can to obtain a very limited but very powerful boost in your weapon power, allowing you to cause mayhem and destruction to your foes. As you venture through these levels, you'll not only come across your typical army of endless bad guys coming at you, but also a set of area bosses who will try their best to stop you before you end up fighting your final foe, the guardian of the level. The fights aren't that hard due to how slow their telegraphs are, but you should still keep on your toes just in case, considering some of the bosses love to try their fill the screen with damaging projectiles. Find your favorite weapons, study their moves, and prepare to unload on your quest for the Valkyrie. Rapid Reload is a decent game that has fun action and interesting designs. It's short, but it's not too bad in my opinion. It'd be cool if we see more arcadey games in the future like this one, especially if they come out in actual arcades. Thanks for watching, and if you guys have suggestions for underrated and obscure games that I should cover, feel free to leave it down in the comments below, or hit up the UnderRadar socials. Thanks again for another fantastic episode of UnderRadar, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.